know, stick work first. Obviously, if you're a great athlete and you have no stick work, you're not going to be able to get on the field. It's just the way it goes in lacrosse. It's the most important thing about the game. It's the most unique thing about lacrosse is that we have our own stick that we can personalize, right? My stick's different than yours. Your stick's different than his. Your stick's different too? Yeah, Randy's stick's different. So, you know, we're all unique in that aspect. There's no really defined, you know, proper cradle and pass, you know. You hear a lot of overhand, but everyone's still got their own little flicks. Some people bring their stick back further than others. Some people pass like that. Some people take less cradles. Some people don't really cradle at all. There's no right or wrong answer. So I'm here to just really give you my perspective on what I do. And if there's some things that you like about what I do, hopefully you take that back from me. Same goes with all the coaches here. So stick work first. Second's dodging. As an offensive player, our goal is to put the ball in the net, right? If we can't beat our defender, we're not going to get the opportunity to shoot, right? So before we get to shooting, we have to learn how to set ourselves up to shoot, and that's what dodging comes in. All right, once we can pass, dodge by our defenders, or learn how to get into space, that's when we can shoot. So that's why shooting's always last, but we'll spend a good amount of time doing that. Hopefully everyone will get a little bit better doing that. So if I'm going right-handed here, all right, it's important that our top hand is in a certain spot on our stick that's most comfortable, okay? Bottom hand's always locked in at the bottom, at our bottom grip, wherever we put our butt end, okay? Top hand for me, I like always having it about a grip under the middle of the shaft. So this is about where the middle of the stick is. I come right here. You know, certain sticks have logos there, but you know, about this sort of distance is what I think is most comfortable. I've heard people say, you know, lock your elbow into the butt end and then reach up, and that's where your top hand should be. So right here, it's about the same thing there. So, you know, some guys will be out here and you'll be throwing the ball like this. You know, you're not getting the right amount of leverage on the stick. Same thing here, if you're all the way down, you lose a lot of accuracy. We'll talk about adjusting our hands when we shoot, but for the most part, when we're having our stick work, when we're throwing an overhand, you know, this is the right placement, all right? So as we're throwing the ball, all right, it's important that if we have our hands right, we gotta look at our feet, all right? If I'm throwing right-handed, I wanna make sure my left foot is pointing towards my target and in front of me. If I'm here, okay, I don't have a great base, I'm sort of off balance. If I'm like this, I have my opposite foot forward, all right? I can fall through towards my target, and we're dropping the head of our stick, right, where we wanna throw it, okay? Anybody have any questions so far? When you're throwing the ball, all right, it's always important when you talk about falling through is that the head of the stick ends up exactly where you want the ball to go. If I can get the head of my stick to point right at my target, I'm either gonna miscoach high or low. I'm not gonna throw right or left, okay? Because that stick is falling through right there, all right? But I bet a lot of us don't know this, all right? A lot of times when you guys follow through, your stick will actually end up like this, all right? Now, why is that? Well, our shoulders are actually, you know, built to go inward, right? Our hands are at the side of us. Anybody here walk like this? How about like this? No, all right. We're naturally built to stand like this. So as you follow through, normally if you have a tight grip on your stick, all right, and you follow through, that shoulder rotation is gonna take your stick almost at an angle. Now my follow through is to the right of coach, and it can go right or left, all right, as I break my wrist. Okay, you wanna go back there, Bucky, real quick? You wanna go back there so you can see it? So there's a way to adjust this, guys, all right? And for me, it's really simple. I learned it when I was younger. So instead of having a grip like this, the only difference I'm doing is that. See, I just pop my thumb up. I'm not pressing against the side of my shaft or anything like that. I'm just popping the thumb up, having a looser grip here. If I can open up my wrist just like that, that cocks my wrist this way. You see that? Turns my shoulder, so now when I follow through, the head of my stick points right at my target. So if I lock my thumb in here, and my wrist is now normal again, I follow through, you see how it comes diagonal? See that? If you open up your thumb, practice doing that. It's like changing your golf grip a little bit. I always have my thumb up. That way when I throw, the stick ends up right towards the target. See that with both hands? I have my thumb up the side of my shaft so that my follow through and the head points right at my target as I release, okay? Both coach and I are following through right towards the target. All right? All right. Now lastly, before we go, catching. All right? Some of us have trouble catching, especially when you're moving. First play of the game, maybe the first pass. I still do it. Every time I come on the field, I'm always nervous walking onto the field, first possession. All right? Why is it so much easier to catch a football or a basketball or a baseball than it is a lacrosse stick? Well, we're trying to follow this ball into a head that's 3 feet away from our hands. It's really easy. Oh, that's all right. Toss this ball, toss it back to me. You can drop the stick. Drop your stick. There you go. It's pretty easy to catch the ball with your hands. The reason is it's a part of your body, right? Baseball is simple to catch a ball. Basketball and football, we all understand how to catch it. So if you're having trouble catching the ball and you're in line drills, easy way to solve that is to choke up on your stick. All right? There's nothing wrong with it. I do it a lot. A lot of players do it. We do it a lot in indoor, especially when you're in tight and you're backdooring someone, say, right? If you choke up on your stick, you're getting your hand closer to that region of where you're catching the ball, so it's almost like throwing that ball in your hand. All right? So if you are on the move and you're having trouble or you want to catch that first ball, choke up, then drop your top hand down as you want to pass it, and you're out. It takes a half second. It's also easier to catch balls if someone throws a tough pass to you, okay? If you're choked down here and I get a pass here, it's tough to do that and catch it. But if I'm choked up, I can just slide it right across my body. So if Bucky throws me a tough pass and I'm choked up, right, I can catch it. If I'm not and he throws me a tough pass, it's a little bit more difficult to get over there, okay? Anybody have any questions? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get into the same line drills. Older guys are going to get in a line.